Hey everyone, Zap Productions here. I'm going to be continuing doing another tutorial video today, and it's going to be the continuation of how to make a cool thumbnail tutorial part 2. So let's get started. We're going to open up Photoshop, Adobe Photoshop. Now we're going to be focusing today mostly on the logos. This is going to be the end of the parts, but we're going to be focused on the logos I use to make the pictures. Like, pictures like the Adventure Hogs, things like this. The logo, how I make these right here. So, first thing I do is that I go into Photoshop. I go to File, I open a new, untitled, whatever size I want. It really doesn't matter at this moment for me. So I have the background here and I have this new layer, and what I want to do is I go right here and I press this title, this text tool, and then I'm going to go up here and choose a text that I like. So if you don't have a texts here that are interesting for you, there's a really awesome site, a website that's called 1001 Fonts, and you could get a really awesome text there, and it's free, and it's, well, most are free, and it's really great. So check that out if you want. Also, but what I'm going to be doing right now is I'm going to be using this Blaze sample that I got, and I'm going to type in fire just for a test, and then that's it. Click the select. Now that we have this, we can move this around. We could also, if we hold shift and move it around, or if we hold shift, move it around, we could stretch it out at the right size and stuff. And then after that, just put it in the more or less in the middle. A good way to do that, first you put the check button. A good way to do that is go Command or Control. If you're on Windows, Control A. If you're on a Mac, Command A. So I'm on a Mac, so Command A. And then go up to here, Layer, Align Layers to Selection, Horizontal Centers, and then go and do that again to Vertical Centers. Now it's in the middle. So now we could do Command or Control D. That deselects the whole layer. So now that we have the Fire Z here, let's double click this layer, the Fire Z layer, and now this window opens up, and we can do some nice effects on this. So the first thing I want to do is that I want to give the fire some color. So no, actually maybe a gradient. So let's choose a gradient over here. There's a bunch of different already made gradients like these, but I'm going to pick one that I kind of like more or less, and I'm going to just change the colors. So here I'm going to change the color to red, dark red. Okay, and this one I'm going to be making it kind of reddish orange. Okay, and I press OK, and now you have a gradient overlay like this. You could also change the angle of the gradient, where what direction you want the gradient to be. So, and you could change the scale to how fine you want the gradient to be separated. So a low scale is like almost half and half, so I'm going to put it somewhere around 70%. More or less. That looks good. Now, next thing I want to do is most of the times I use a stroke sometimes, but I like to do a drop shadow. And a drop shadow gives it kind of like a 3D look to it. So I could do all sorts of stuff here. I could change size of the drop shadow, the distance. But for now, I'm going to keep it simple, not too crazy, not a really light drop shadow. You could change the angle of the drop shadow as well, and then you click, and then you click OK. So that's a pretty nice looking logo, but I want to do one more extra thing. You see, guys, all these things right here, you could click them and you could do whatever you want. You could design this as much as you want. But also what you can do is that you can go to, this is what I'm going to do, bevel and emboss, I'm sorry. And I'm going to make it slightly, now it looks really 3D. So I'm going to click OK. Now, what I want to do is that I want to not only have the text, but I want to have some cool effects, like a layer that goes around, or with the same effect that the fire text has. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here to shapes, and I want to go here up to here and go to custom shape options, and then I'm going to choose a shape that I kind of like. Let's see. This exploding shape looks pretty cool, so I'm going to select that. And now I'm going to draw it on to here, like so. And then you could centralize it in the back. This is just all examples of what you can do. But for me right now, I'm going to do this little effect here, put on the back, and then click the check mark up there. So what we do now is that, you know how it looks all black? What we do now is that we go here to fire, right click the fire, and then copy layer style, and then right click the shape that we made, and then paste layer style. Now you can see that the shape now has the same layer style as the fire. Now that looks pretty good, but we need to do one more thing. I'm going to add in one more thing, and let's see, we're going to go here to polygonal lasso tool, and I'm going to select all inside this area. So if there's what I'm gonna do, what I'm kind of what I'm thinking about and what I have plans to do is that I'm gonna make the fire, I'm gonna make it like a hole in the middle, so it's an exploding outline. If there's any better way to do it, please let me know in the comments below. But for now, this is the best way that I thought out and the fastest. So what you could do is that after that, you go here and rasterize a layer, and then you could erase all the lines that's been selected after you select it, and then keep on erasing it. Let me grow the size of it, so erase it faster. And once you do that, you go Command or Control D to deselect it, and there you have it. An awesome background, awesome text with the background. And let me rotate a little bit just to make some fun, put some fun into it. And then what you could do, we make this awesome background like this, and then after that you go to File, Save As. Just save it as anything you want. Fire logo. Okay, and what you want to do is you save it to a PNG or a JPEG, a picture file. You save it, and then now you have that logo on your computer, and you can put it on any picture you like, add it in, like what I did in the tutorial before this one. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. And see you guys next time Also, one more thing is I'm working right now on the Avengers Part 2, and then after that I'm going to be doing the rest of the Into the Front series, and then more on the Adventure Hog series, and hopefully doing the Avengers parts as well. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I may do something for Christmas, so like a Christmas stop motion too as well. So thank you for watching again, and see you guys next time. Okay.